Are you curious about going toxic-free? Are you dealing with any type of hormone imbalances, any type of skin or allergy reactions? I'm excited to share with you part one of a 3-part series where I am talking with Lisa from This Organic Girl. We're going to dig into how to begin living a toxic-free lifestyle so that you reduce endocrine disruption, hormone dysregulation, and minimize harmful chemicals that are actually not promoting weight loss and creating thyroid and hormone imbalances. Stay tuned for this informative, impactful, life-changing video. Welcome everybody, I'm Dr. Melissa Gallagher. I am so excited to have you join me here on my channel, and I'm even more excited to introduce to you Lisa from This Organic Girl. She is an amazing natural green beauty expert and a blogger. She's joining our channel today to take part in a 3-part series, and today is part 1 where we're going to talk about skincare and makeup choices. So welcome, Lisa.
Thank you so much for having me, Melissa.
I'm so excited to have you. And Lisa and I are going to have a little chat about some healthy choices, and her expertise is going to lend so well to us living healthier, toxic-free lifestyles.
Well, thank you.
Yes. So one of the questions that came up is actually from a viewer. Spaniel1997 asked this question. How about specific substances that would be helpful to avoid and include internally and topically if you are a perimenopausal stress burnout and in the middle of losing your mind? LOL. Who can relate to that?
Who can relate to that? Sounds familiar. Okay, so obviously the gamut of ingredients that we could potentially avoid runs deep. So to keep it simple, I would say the best thing that you can do to reduce kind of all the junk that's out there, or a majority of it, is just avoid one ingredient. And I would say that would be fragrance. And that's because fragrance is basically like an umbrella term, or an umbrella for all these additional ingredients that can be housed under that one term. And that kind of stem back to the days where perfumers were formulating, and the FDA granted them kind of permission to not disclose what was in their perfumes. Sure. So then, you know, if you say, oh, in this perfume I have 1, 2, and 3, then Joe down the street's going to be like, okay, well, I'm going to take that 1, 2, and 3 and make the same perfume. So it became trade law and trade secret. That just has basically carried over for the past 80 years. But now people are taking advantage of it, and just anything that they don't want to disclose on a label, or what they're kind of chemically creating in that fragrance to make it smell good, is being housed under that one label. And you can even ask companies what's in your fragrance, and most of the time they don't even know because they're buying it from a fragrance house. Sure. But the International Fragrance Association has listed 3,999 chemical components. That's crazy. In fragrance that were documented in 2016 that were used in fragrances. What that means chemically and neuroendocrine wise is that these are a ton of disruptors. Like phthalates. Endocrine disruptors, cancer-causing agents. Like, no, if you look at that list with 3,999 chemical components, you will see everything like that. And this is a really fun fact. There are, on a daily basis, before a woman leaves her house, on average, we're using 15 to 17 different products. And that's really significant. We are being overloaded. And this is, I think, probably one of the bigger components at play when I see a lot of my patients that they're eating green, they're juicing, they're taking supplementation, and yet they're still presenting with eczema and psoriasis, you know, red kind of blotchy irritations, and even have asthma or headaches that are supposedly unknown or can't be identified. And the thing is with fragrance, so it's going to be in your shampoo, it's going to be in your lotion, it's going to be in your deodorant, also in your trash bags, it's in every single candle that you buy, it's in your air fresheners, it's in, you know, the most ludicrous places fragrance can be. You know, diapers have added fragrance to them. So it's not like if you switch out your skincare and say, well, it's fragrance free, it's like that toxic load is just like compounding all day long from all these different places.
Sure. So Lisa, what are your top products that you recommend for a newbie beginner kind of watching this video saying, okay, I've identified products. You go home and you start looking through your cabinets and then you become horrified that you're taking, you know, a bath in really harmful chemicals. What now? What do they do? What are the options for them?
Okay, yeah, that's a really good question because it's really easy to get overwhelmed. I felt that way when I first had my awakening, and it's just not healthy either. Like the stress overload on the body is not. It's just as bad. So like we just want to take it easy, baby steps, and I would say the best thing you can do is start with the products that are going to be on your skin all day long. So for example, look at your body lotion, look at your deodorant, look at your sunscreen, foundation, moisturizers, body lotions, and like a lip balm. I would say those are the things that go on your face and on your body and stay on your body. So if we can swap those basic 5 things out first, you've probably got 60% of the game kind of conquered.
Absolutely.
And I think a common misconception about going green is like, oh, it just costs a lot of money, it's going to be more expensive, I can't afford that, and which is true. Like you can definitely go baller status on green beauty. And like there's some really luxury green beauty out there, and if you're used to investing in your skincare and you want to spend a lot of money, there doesn't have to be compromise anymore. I mean, there's green beauty brands out there that are coming through with new technology every single day. One of my favorite lines, it's called True Botanicals. I have it with me right now. They this is what it looks like, that they are Made Safe certified, which is another tool that you can use to look for clean products. But they have, in third-party clinical trials, they have outperformed Proactive in terms of eradicating acne and hormonal acne.
That's great.
I mean, that's really big.
That's big.
But you don't have to spend a lot of money on your skincare. I mean, there are a ton of clean brands at Target even. So on my website, I have a download that's called like Shopping Target or Clean Shopping Guide to Target, I think. And it basically is just 2 columns. It has a yes column and a no column of what I would buy for myself and what I wouldn't buy for myself. Yeah.
You know, marketing and the labeling, there's no regulation. There are no laws that labeling kind of goes through or is required to meet. So even if ingredients are not listed, they could still be in the product.
Yeah, you could easily see a product that says natural, and it's like, that doesn't mean anything.
Right.
So, I mean, there's no regulation on the word natural or organic, really. I mean, there's a regulation on the USD certified organic symbol, of course, but the word organic itself, not really.
Yeah. So, Lisa, what is your take on the preservatives?
Right. So, well, I think the most important thing to realize is that preservatives aren't the enemy. Like, preservatives are actually helping us. So, when you have a lotion, for example, like a lotion is oils, and then you add water in, and then you add, some sort of like essential oils and stuff like that. But anytime a drop of water hits a formula, you're going to automatically need some sort of preservative system. So you just want to make sure what you're buying is using a safe preservative system, and that is contingent on 2 things. It'll be the type of preservative that it is, but then also the percentage used. PHENOXYETHANOL is a preservative that's used in green beauty quite often. It's allowed in formulas in Europe, and also like with the Made Safe certification in percentages of 1 and under. But like looking at a label, we wouldn't know the percentage. Like that would have to be a follow-up question to the company, like what percentage do you use PHENOXYETHANOL at? For me personally, I don't like to use it just because I don't know the answer to that question. And if I'm going to pick up a bottle of shampoo and see it there, I'm just going to say it's a no for me personally. But we know for sure parabens are harmful to our bodies. And they don't, I know that what I've read is that studies say they're not per se cancer causing, but what they do is they accelerate the cell growth of cancers. And so that doesn't matter percentage wise, especially if you have parabens in your lotion and in your shampoo, in your, everything that you're using.
It's a multitude. Are there any preservatives out there from a green beauty perspective that you're finding are really intriguing and exciting for us to be cognizant of?
Well, I noticed that I have been seeing red radish, FERMENT, FILTRATE quite often. That's a newer one, and I've been looking for studies on it, but I haven't found anything yet. So far, it seems to be safe to use. And a lot of the times, I'll see like potassium sorbate as a preservative. That seems to be well received and like used. But what I do in terms of looking up to see if it's a safe ingredient or not, I like to use EWG.
Yes.
And so you can use EWG, which is the Environmental Working Group. They have a skin deep database, and you can put in the name of a product into that, and it will give you a score. So it'll rate it from 0 to 10, 0 being totally safe and 10 being totally toxic. And so you could, if you see a product on the shelf, you could put in like blah product, and then it would give you a 6, and you're like, okay, well, probably not going to use that.
And I found the EWG app and the website so informative, and they have all the research, they have all of the PubMed articles, they've got all the clinical data that really backs the information you're going to find, and it's non-partial. It's just a matter of fact, scientifically proven, and then they give you the breakdown. And so you can make your own choices.
Exactly.
And for some folks, different times of their lives, we can go a little bit more aggressive with the nature of limiting ingredients, and other times we can kind of scale forward in terms of what's okay.
I think that was like one of the most eye-opening things for me, because when I first started going green in my journey, I had walked into Whole Foods and I was like, you know, somebody had recommended this clean skin cream for me, and so I like picked it up, and I'm like horrified at the ingredients, because like maybe I saw something that was like, you know, it's not a hard line, is what I know now. And clean beauty for some people is different than for other people.
Sure.
And so it's more just about like educating yourself and deciding where your line is.
Yeah.
I mean, but there are hardcore no's, I think, that should be no's for everybody, like parabens.
Yep.
You know, fragrances. You know,
sodium lauryl sulfate's a big one. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, those should be no flat across the board. But then there are a lot of people with chemical sensitivities, you know, that can't use things that I can use.
Yeah, and that's, I think, one of the things that I have found in working with a lot of my patients and all of you out there, is that you have to test it out for yourself. See how your skin reacts and see how your body reacts to that particular item. I know that some of the natural fragrance additives, they are natural in their inclination, they're oil oriented, but some of my patients don't respond well to citrus or lemon that might be in a green, clean, chemical free product, but there's still sensitivity. And so that's something that I think, even being cognizant of how your body responds to something, and then your requirements from a personal health focus, and then also within the family as well. So I'd love to hear more about your makeup preferences. I have to admit, and you and I have talked about this, and you guys probably have seen some of my offline footage. I don't wear a lot of makeup in my day-to-day life, and really the only time I put on makeup is for you guys and shooting video, more so to accentuate my face and to present well. But I know that the way I choose a lot of my products, I go as kind of clean as I can, and we had spoken about this. I try to be more focused on products that if it's not something that's edible, I try and kind of feed my skin from that perspective. But with makeup, because I'm not and haven't really kind of grown into being, a big makeup user, that's an area that I still, to this day, am kind of in this like, oh my gosh, what do I do? And at this point, I kind of make some compromises because I don't wear makeup all the time. And so I would love to learn more about some good kind of basic components of makeup.
So yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So I brought a couple of things that we can talk about. And makeup, for example, like I know I talked about some of the labeling that we can look for. You can look for that Made Safe symbol. You can look for the EWG symbol. Mm-hmm. Those are both applied to makeup as well. What you can't really use too much is the USDA certified organic symbol, because that really applies to agriculture and farming.
Okay.
And when we get into makeup, we're talking about pigment and color and micas and titanium dioxide. And because that's not agricultural based, it can't be certified organic. Although you will see some certified organic makeup, like you will see it, but it'll say either maybe 70% or it will be 100%, but it'll totally be like natural, and it won't be like as high performing as some of the makeup that we can get that's still clean.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah, because they're not using like and they're using oils and butters, and they're not they're not using
well, it's high performance is what we want, right? We want stuff to stay on. We don't want creases and kind of cakiness.
Well, and that's the thing too. I think people think that they have to compromise. It's like, okay, well, if I'm gonna go organic on my lipstick, like, or like I guess I'm just gonna have to wear lip balm now or something like that.
That's totally me.
It's like it doesn't have to be crunchy like that. Like,
that's great.
There's a huge glam world out there for organics.
Okay, so we're going glam.
Yeah, we're going glam. So I brought 2 examples to start off with. Like with Christmas coming up, we have a great holiday red.
That's exciting.
So budget friendly and luxe. So this budget-friendly option is by Clove & Hollow. This is their lip velvet.
Okay.
And it's the closest thing that you're going to find to a lip stain in Green Beauty. So you can put this on in the morning, and I can wear it all day until 5 p.m. I mean, eat my lunch with it, coffee, everything.
Oh my gosh,
it stays. Huge. Yeah, and it's beautiful. It totally just like super pigmented, really pretty.
That's great.
And so this sells for $18, but I have a code you can get it for just about $15.
And she's based here.
And she's based out of Atlanta, Georgia.
Yep, that's great.
And she made Oprah's favorite things list last year.
Oh my gosh,
I know. She's a brand new company. Other one for a luxury option is called AXIOLOGY.
Okay.
They are clean from head to toe, and even this cute little box right here is made from recycled trash from the island of Bali.
How cool is that?
Yeah, totally. A Leaping Bunny certified. So this is super chic and fun. First of all, gold.
Sure.
Second of all, clip top. I mean, so cute. And then, this is a nice red.
Yeah.
This is their brand new color in clarity. So this runs about between $25 and $30.
Okay.
I brought a couple of examples because I know people like lipstick, people like mascara.
Yes, mascara is huge. I think if anything, every day I'm wearing mascara.
Yeah, of course.
Like I'll do eyes and a lip balm, and then I'm good.
Totally.
Yeah.
This is a new find for me. The Honest Beauty mascara.
Yeah.
I was super doubtful because I was like, I've tried mascaras that cost $48. Like, there's no way that this one is going to be able to do anything. But it's kind of fun because it comes with a primer on one side.
Ooh. Oh, I
and
love
so you
that.
get to beef up your lashes, add a little bit of volume there first, and then you have the typical wand on the other side.
Okay.
But this is honestly one of the best Green Beauty mascaras I've tried, and sometimes you can find it on Amazon for $10.
Oh my gosh! Well, we love Amazon.
I know. Throw it in the cart. But yeah, this adds volume, length, and volume and length, right? What else do you need? This one is a little bit more expensive. I think it might be in the $30 range. It's called INIKA Long Lash. It's vegan as well.
Okay.
And this is just another more traditional Christmas tree wand. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And this you can find always on sale at Pharmaca, by the way.
Okay.
And I brought just as an example because I know deodorant is a big one for a lot of people too.
Yep.
As I say, like one ingredient to avoid if you want to start buying clean is fragrance.
Yeah.
One ingredient to avoid is with deodorants is aluminum, like for sure.
Yep.
Like don't look for fragrance first, look for aluminum first.
Yeah. The way aluminum heavy metals gets integrated, heavy metals get stored in our fat cells. And our breast tissue is primarily adipose fat tissue. And there's no way the body gets rid of that. And so it ends up storing it, and that's where we see a lot of cystic breast activity, fibrotic tissue in the breast tissue. So deodorant, I would categorize it as a big time must.
Oh yeah.
Because we're wearing that every day, whether you wear makeup or not, whether you wash your hair or not. Deodorant is like a standard staple.
Mm-hmm. It is. And the thing is, like, so I have my husband on board too, but if it doesn't work, he'll threaten me and saying he's going back. I'm going back if you don't find me something else. So he's tried a ton, and like he just always comes back to SCHMIDTS. Some of their non-fragrance ones, especially some people have like baking soda irritation. They have a baking soda free version that's also fragrance free. So
that's great.
This one really works for my husband. So that's the thing. There's a ton of clean, deodorants and clean options out there, clean lipsticks and whatever. But what I bring to the table is things that actually perform because I've tried them all.
Yeah, that's great. I value you and what you put out on her Instagram feed. If you haven't checked her out, it's so great at This Organic Girl on Instagram because you're doing stories and they are just so authentic and so real. And you really see what the product looks like, and you're descriptive of it. It's really, I love it, and I'm learning so much.
This is the deodorant that I've fallen on. So this is Agent Natur Shiver Rose. They have a couple different scents, but I like the Shiver Rose. It seems to work a little bit better for me.
Okay.
And the one I've tried recently too that actually works for me and my husband is called Type A. And I like the fragrance-free version of that one. Heavy hitters right there for daily staples, budget-friendly, and luxe.
Oh, I love it. That's so exciting.
And you can also look, if there's something that you are thinking like, oh, I wish she talked about blush, or I wish she talked about foundation, I have a tab on my website called What I Use Now. And so that just lists out everything that I use every day from, moisturizer to hairspray to shampoo to anything. That's
great. I just have to say that this is probably a little bit of a different type of video here on my channel, but I think that's the next step for us in terms of investigating how do we continue to maintain our health and how do we continue to balance our hormones. And this is for men and for women. And I have a large male audience that watches that are concerned about their prostate health and just overall hormone balance. And one of the things that I found is we don't take as seriously the state of our skin. And the skin involvement and the way the skin is absorbing chemicals and somewhat harmful biochemicals, it has a direct impact on the lymphatic system and can cause just minor swelling and inflammation that we might not even be registering as an inflammation from something we're using. We just kind of chalk it up like, oh, my hands swell, or I have puffiness, or I just feel kind of swollen in the sinus passages. But sometimes eliminating some of those key ingredients are quite impactful.
I think for some people who are skeptical, like, oh, it's just my skin, it's not going to absorb. The day it hit me was when somebody told me, like, think about the birth control patch, or think about the nicotine patch, or think about hormonal topicals.
Yes,
like all of those
delivery. Yes. Absolutely. And that is one thing. There is penetration, and then there's absorption. And some things just penetrate, but then the absorption is where we're seeing so much of that entering. And those are the biochemical hormone disruptors. Those are all of the xenoestrogens that we're trying to limit, that bombard our livers, that cause a lot of liver toxicity, thereby causing hormonal disruption and irregular cycles. And it's huge. The skin is definitely an absorbing entity that we have to not only take care of just from a nourishing perspective, but be cognizant of its exposure. So Lisa has an awesome list that she's sharing with everybody. Can you tell us about the Toxic 10 list?
Absolutely. So if you go to my website, This Organic Girl, I'll have a pop-up that comes up so you can sign up for my newsletter where I email people every week about the latest and greatest, kind of what's going on new in green beauty, but also kind of just organic living and lifestyle talk too. So the pop-up will allow you to download what I'm calling the Toxic 10. It's basically what I think is, I'm trying to make it easy for people to shop clean.
Yep.
So go with the fragrance tactic, but if you're like, I need more than that, the Toxic 10 is a great list. It just goes 1 through 10 of ingredients to avoid, and if you can kind of keep a couple of them in your head while you're out shopping, it'll just really help you shop smarter.
That's great.
Yeah, and like you were just talking about the endocrine disruptors, and I would say like parabens is one of those things that's a big time endocrine disruption. For example, when we look at this type of label right here, like right away, what I like to look for is after fragrance, which I see here. I also see ethyl paraben, and I see 2 different parabens. I don't even have to know much more like, oh, maybe I don't know what sorbitol alcohol is, but it doesn't matter because I've already seen a couple things that I know are bad for me, so I just put it back.
That's such a great guide because you really do have to pick up the bottle and flip it over and look at the ingredients. It's key. We vote for our health with our dollars.
Exactly.
That's huge.
I always picture like when I go into a store and I pick something off the shelf and I make a space on that shelf, I'm telling somebody, hey, make more of that.
Sure.
And like I just want people to make more things that are going to be healthy for not only me, but if they're making things that are healthy that other people are buying, then that makes the planet healthier too.
Yeah.
And like our children healthier.
Absolutely. Well, and that's such a great way for us to conclude this part 1 of our series, which is all about skincare and makeup. But if you guys are interested in more content, we'll be coming out next week with part 2, where we're going to dig into home and cleaning. which there's a lot of fun discussion there and products that you're probably not aware of and ingredients and things to look out for. So thanks everybody. And because it is Vlogmas, I will be choosing one comment winner who comments down below in the first hour of this video's release. You'll be winning a Natural Health Resources ornament. Super excited to share this with you guys, and I would love for you guys to comment down below, ask us any questions. Lisa will be monitoring the YouTube questions coming in from you guys and all the things that we discussed about the links. I'll include all of that in the bio and description box down below. And as always, thanks guys for tuning in. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow on tomorrow's Vlogmas.